What if I told you that a 500-year-old book, a guide for ancient rulers on wielding political power, holds the most devastatingly accurate and spiritually profound secrets to love and attraction ever written? Imagine for a moment that the reason you're struggling to connect with women, the reason your relationships feel like a constant battle, has absolutely nothing to do with your looks, your bank account, or your personality. What if the entire struggle stems from a single, fundamental spiritual principle that 99% of men completely misunderstand? A principle that, once grasped, can shift your entire reality. This isn't about becoming a different person. It's about awakening the sovereign power that already resides within you. The truth is, Niccolò Machiavelli never intended to write a manual on dating, but hidden within the pages of The Prince, his raw and unfiltered guide for Renaissance leaders, lies an energetic framework so powerful, so aligned with the universal laws of attraction, that it can transform any man from a romantic beggar pleading for scraps of affection into the kind of sovereign being that women are inexplicably drawn to, the man they can't stop thinking about. Before you dismiss this as just another alpha male video, I invite you to stay with me. What I'm about to reveal isn't about being cruel or playing manipulative games. It's about a psychological and spiritual principle so fundamental that once you truly understand its vibration, you will never see dating, attraction, or your own power in the same way again. If this message already resonates with your soul, let me know by liking this video, subscribing for more truths that cut through the noise, and if you feel called to, share your own journey in the comments with a simple, "I'm ready to awaken." So, why do good men, the ones who are kind, considerate, and always available, so often finish last? Let's call this the curse of the empathic giver. You've been programmed by society with a deeply flawed spiritual script. You've been told that to win a woman's heart, you must be completely open, endlessly vulnerable, constantly available, and perpetually communicative. But what you must understand is that every single one of these actions, when they spring from a place of energetic need rather than sovereign wholeness, kills attraction faster than a poison. You see, the universe operates on a principle of energetic balance. When you meet a woman and a spark ignites, your conditioned response is to start pouring your life force, your attention, your focus, your very essence into her. You become a leaky vessel, desperately hoping that by emptying yourself into her, she will in turn fill you up. But this is a violation of universal law. Neediness is a low-frequency vibration. It signals energetic scarcity. It screams to the universe and to her subconscious, "I am not whole without you. I need you to complete me." This energy is not magnetic, it is repulsive. Women, like all human beings, are intuitively drawn to strength, to wholeness, to a source of radiant energy, not to an energetic vacuum. This is why the nice guy, with the perfect resume on paper, the one who does everything right, gets relegated to the friend zone, while the mysterious bartender, with a quiet, unshakable self-possession, gets her number without even seeming to try. It's not about being a bad boy. It's about possessing a solid, energetic core. The nice guy offers his entire kingdom on the first date, revealing that its walls are unguarded and its throne is empty, waiting for a queen to give it value. The sovereign man, however, knows the value of his own kingdom. He invites her in for a glimpse, but he never hands over the keys. He understands that his worth is not contingent on her approval, and this very understanding makes him profoundly attractive. This brings us to the core of your struggle, a deep-seated misunderstanding of neediness. Neediness is the kryptonite to attraction. It is the spiritual equivalent of bad breath. It makes people recoil on a primal level, even if they can't consciously explain why. Think about it. Modern dating studies reveal a shocking truth. On most dating apps, 80% of women are competing for the top 20% of men. Now, let's look at this through a spiritual lens. Why does this happen? Is it because those 20% are all models and millionaires? Absolutely not. It's because that 20% of men, consciously or unconsciously, are broadcasting a frequency of energetic abundance. They are not needy. They are not seeking validation through a match or a date. They have cultivated a life, a purpose, a mission that makes them whole with or without a partner. They possess a spiritual gravity. The other 80% of men, sadly, are operating from a place of lack. Their energy is unconsciously screaming, "Please pick me, please validate me, please fill this emptiness inside me." And this vibration is palpable. As Machiavelli so brilliantly observed, the lion cannot defend itself against traps, and the fox cannot defend itself against wolves. Therefore, it is necessary to be a fox to discover the traps, and a lion to terrify the wolves. In the jungle of modern dating, neediness is the most obvious trap. It's the scent of desperation that predators, in this case, the universal laws of attraction, can detect from a mile away. You walk straight into this trap by texting too much, by being too agreeable, by revealing your feelings too soon, by rearranging your entire life to fit her schedule. These actions aren't signs of a confident, worthy man. They are the actions of a supplicant. Women have an innate, almost psychic ability to detect this. They are the wolves in Machiavelli's analogy, not in a malicious sense, but in the sense that they are instinctively wired to test for strength and weed out weakness. When she senses your neediness, she doesn't feel attraction, she feels pressure. She feels the burden of your emotional well-being, and it's a weight she has no desire to carry. This is why she pulls back, why she gets distant, why she might even ghost you completely. It's not personal. It's an energetic and biological response to a low-frequency signal. So how do you transcend this? How do you begin to think like a king, a sovereign being, instead of a peasant begging for scraps from the royal table? The secret lies in a profound paradox. The key to abundance isn't actually having dozens of options. It's about cultivating the inner state, the vibration of someone who does. This is where the wisdom of the Stoics aligns perfectly with Machiavelli. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Your reality is forged not by your external circumstances, but by your internal state of being." The man who feels he has no options projects an energy of desperation. The man who has built a life he loves, a life filled with purpose, passion, and genuine interests, projects an energy of abundance, even if he is single. This is the foundation of what Machiavelli would call princely thinking. A prince, a true sovereign, doesn't derive his worth from the approval of his subjects. His worth is inherent. He is the source of value in his own kingdom. To apply this, you must stop outsourcing your happiness. You must become the source of your own validation. What if I told you that the moment you truly stop needing women is the very moment they begin to need you? When you stop looking for a woman to be the centerpiece of your life and instead focus on building a life so magnificent that you simply want a worthy partner to share it with, the entire dynamic shifts. You are no longer chasing, you are attracting. You are no longer asking, you are offering. This doesn't mean you must have an empire or a fortune. It means cultivating a rich inner world. It means having a mission, a purpose that sets your soul on fire. This mission becomes your anchor, your source of unshakable confidence. It's the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning, the thing you would do even if you never met another woman in your life. When you possess this, you move through the world with a different energy. You have a quiet power, a sense of direction that is profoundly magnetic. You are no longer a ship tossed about on the chaotic seas of dating. You are the lighthouse, steady and bright, guiding the right ships to your shore. Why does a man with a divine purpose effortlessly attract women, while a man who makes a woman his purpose pushes her away? The answer is pure energetic law. Your purpose, your mission, is the ultimate expression of your masculine energy. It is your unique contribution to the world, your divine blueprint in action. When you are fully engaged in your mission, you are in a state of creation, of expansion, of power. This energy is incredibly attractive on a subconscious level. It signals competence, stability, and a life force that is generative, not draining. A woman doesn't want to be your mission. She wants to join you on your mission. She wants to be the queen to a king who already has a kingdom. If you make her your kingdom, you place an impossible burden on her. You are essentially asking her to be your god, to be the source of your happiness and purpose in life. No human being can sustain that role. It is a recipe for resentment and inevitable failure. The man with a purpose has a life outside of her. He has priorities, goals, and passions that fuel him. This creates a natural sense of scarcity and mystery. She doesn't have 100% of his attention 100% of the time, and this makes the attention she does get far more valuable. This isn't a game. It is the natural consequence of a man who values his own time and energy. He is not being manipulative by being busy. He is genuinely busy building his empire, whether that empire is a business, an art form, a physical craft, or a spiritual path. And this is what separates the boys from the men, the peasants from the kings. The boy chases butterflies, the king builds a garden, and the butterflies come to him. Your mission is your garden. Stop chasing, start building. Your purpose is the most potent aphrodisiac you will ever possess. It is the silent, powerful broadcast of your value to the world. Cultivate it, honor it, and watch as the world and the women in it begin to respond to your newfound frequency. Here lies one of the most profound paradoxes of attraction, a secret that eludes most men their entire lives. The less you care, the more you get. This isn't a call to become a heartless jerk. It is an invitation to practice the sacred art of divine detachment. Machiavelli understood this in the context of power. He knew that the ruler who was desperate for his people's love would be easily manipulated, whereas the ruler who was slightly feared, or at least deeply respected for his unwavering principles, held the true power. In dating, this translates to releasing your attachment to the outcome. The moment you meet a woman, you likely begin projecting a future onto her. You imagine the dates, the relationship, the future. You become emotionally invested in a reality that doesn't yet exist. This attachment is the source of all your anxiety and needy behavior. It's why you overanalyze her texts, why you get nervous before a date, and why you feel crushed by rejection. Divine detachment, on the other hand, is freedom. It is the understanding that your worth and happiness are not tied to any single person or outcome. You show up as your best self, you connect authentically, but you release the outcome to the universe. You trust that if it is meant to be, it will be. If it is not, then it is a divine redirection, protecting you from a path not meant for you. This creates an energy of non-resistance. You are not trying to force anything. You are flowing with life. A woman can feel this. She senses that you are not trying to extract something from her, be it validation, sex, or a relationship. You are there to share an experience, to connect, but your wholeness does not depend on her. This is unbelievably liberating for her and incredibly attractive. It creates a space of freedom where genuine connection can actually blossom. The needy man clutches sand in his fist, and the tighter he squeezes, the more it slips through his fingers. The detached man holds his hand open, and the sand remains. Be the open hand. Release your desperate grip on outcomes, and you will find that what is truly meant for you will not only stay, but will eagerly seek out the peaceful expanse of your non-attachment. Imagine you are on a great second date. The conversation is flowing, the connection feels real. Then, out of nowhere, she mentions her ex-boyfriend. Suddenly, your stomach tightens. Your mind starts racing. How do you react? This is a test. It is a test of your emotional mastery, a crucial component of your spiritual armor. And it's a test most men fail because they don't even realize they're being tested. Machiavelli would call this a moment that requires virtue, not virtue in the moral sense, but strength of character under pressure. Most men react in one of two ways. They either get defensive and insecure, thinking, "Why is she talking about him? Am I not good enough?" Or they try to compete, saying something like, "Well, I'm nothing like him." Both of these responses are disastrous. They are emotional reactions that instantly signal insecurity and shatter the attractive frame you've built. The emotionally mastered man, the man practicing divine detachment, does neither. He remains calm, centered, and unthreatened. He might just smile and say, "Sounds like you learned something important from that experience," and then skillfully change the subject to something more interesting. What just happened? He acknowledged what she said without being emotionally triggered by it. He demonstrated emotional stability, one of the most attractive qualities a man can possess. This is the view from above, a technique the Stoics used. When you feel yourself getting emotionally reactive, you mentally step back and view the situation from a higher perspective. Imagine how this small moment will matter in 5 years, or even 5 days. Will it matter that she mentioned her ex? Will it matter that she took a while to text back? Probably not. This perspective gives you the emotional space to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. This isn't about suppressing your feelings, it's about feeling them without being controlled by them. It is the path of the spiritual warrior, who can stand calmly in the midst of a storm because he knows the storm is temporary, but his inner kingdom is eternal. Master your inner state, and you will become the calm in her storm, a rock of stability she will be irresistibly drawn to. In every single interaction, whether it's a first date or a long-term relationship, someone's frame dominates. The frame is the underlying reality of the situation. Either you are leading the conversation and she is following your lead, or she is setting the tone and you are reacting to her energy. Guess which one is more attractive? Frame control is not about being domineering or controlling. It is about being the source of your own reality instead of a passenger in someone else's. It's about having a strong enough sense of self that you define the terms of the interaction. When you are rooted in your purpose and your values, your frame is naturally strong. She suggests meeting for coffee. The weak frame responds, "Sure, whatever works for you. When and where?" He's immediately deferring to her, placing her in the leadership position. The strong frame responds, "Coffee sounds good. There's this great place downtown I've been wanting to check out. How about Saturday at 2? He has taken the lead. He has a plan. He is inviting her into his world. He is demonstrating leadership, which is a powerful, attractive trait. This doesn't mean you must be inflexible. The strongest frame can accommodate the needs of others while maintaining its core direction. If she says she can't do Saturday at 2 and doesn't eat meat, the weak frame panics and gets defensive. The strong frame adapts. "No problem. I know a great place with amazing vegetarian options. How's Sunday for you?" He has respected her needs, but maintained his leadership role. True frame control comes from genuine conviction, not from trying to dominate others. When you know what you want and why you want it, people naturally defer to your certainty. This is the essence of appearing to be someone worth following. Even in the smallest interactions, you are either leading or being led. Choose to lead, not through force, but through the quiet, unshakable power of your own sovereign reality. The single most powerful move in the art of attraction isn't about what you say or do to get closer to a woman. It's about knowing when to step back. It is the strategic retreat, the sacred act of releasing, that solidifies your value and often makes you more desired than ever. The men who master this skill never have to beg for anyone's attention. Think back to our texting scenario. You've been engaging with someone for a week. Your messages are thoughtful, hers are short and delayed. Most men double down. They send longer texts, ask more questions, and try harder to win her over. They are pushing, and she is pulling away. The strategic man, the one who understands Machiavellian power, recognizes this energetic imbalance and stops texting, not out of anger or spite, but out of self-respect. He focuses his energy on people and activities that reciprocate it. And here's what happens. His absence creates a vacuum. She's used to getting his attention, and suddenly, it's gone. This forces her to confront a choice. Either she reaches out and re-engages, thereby investing in the interaction, or she reveals she was never that interested anyway. Either way, he wins. He either re-establishes a balanced dynamic or he filters out someone who was not a good match, saving himself weeks or months of wasted energy. This isn't about playing games or manipulating emotions. It is about having genuine standards and enforcing them consistently. It's about walking away from anyone who seems interested but never makes time for you. The hardest part isn't making the initial decision to walk away. It's sticking to it when she inevitably tries to pull you back in with minimal effort, a late-night text, a story reply. You must hold your ground, demonstrating that your time and attention are valuable commodities. And yes, sometimes she won't come back. But here's the divine truth. That's actually good news. What if I told you that every rejection you've ever faced was not a setback, but a sacred gift from the universe? What if getting rejected by the wrong woman is just as valuable, if not more so, than getting accepted by the right one? Here's a paradox that changes everything. The men who are most willing to be rejected are the ones who get rejected the least. Why? Because they're not desperate. They are not walking through life trying to convince every woman to like them. They are on a different quest entirely. They are looking for mutual compatibility, not one-sided validation. Machiavelli wrote about the importance of having allies who chose to support you rather than subjects who were forced to obey. The same principle applies to dating. A woman who chooses to be with you because she genuinely wants to is infinitely more valuable than a woman you convince to give you a chance. Most men take rejection personally. They see it as a reflection of their inadequacy. If she wasn't interested, they think, it must mean something is wrong with me. But a sovereign man understands that rejection is simply information. It's data. It tells him, we are not compatible. Our frequencies are not aligned. This realization saves him time and emotional energy. When you truly understand that there are millions of potential partners out there, individual rejections stop feeling devastating and start feeling like necessary course corrections. They are the universe's way of filtering out the noise, of clearing the path so that you can find the one who truly resonates with your soul. Embrace rejection not as a wound, but as a compass. It is divine redirection. Each no from the wrong person is bringing you one step closer to the profound yes from the right one. See it as your friend, your guide, your protector on this sacred journey, and you will walk through the world with a newfound sense of freedom and unshakable power. We have covered a vast landscape of ancient wisdom, but now we arrive at the most important part of the journey, integrating these principles into the very fabric of your being. Because understanding the theory is useless if you cannot apply it consistently. The truth is, you can't just flip a switch and become a Machiavellian master of dating overnight. This journey is not about learning pickup techniques. It's about profound character development. And true character development takes time. But it all starts with one fundamental shift in your perception. Stop trying to get women to like you and start evaluating whether you actually like them. This means building a life so interesting, so fulfilling, that people are naturally drawn to be a part of it. It means setting and enforcing boundaries in all your relationships, not just romantic ones. It means cultivating genuine confidence, emotional mastery, and a deep sense of self-respect that is not dependent on external validation. You must start with one principle at a time. This week, perhaps you focus on responding to texts more thoughtfully instead of immediately. The next week, you practice maintaining your frame during conversations. The week after that, you work on your emotional mastery when things don't go your way. But you must know, as you start applying these principles, some people in your life will not like the changes. Friends might accuse you of becoming cold. Women who are used to getting easy attention from you might get upset when you start having standards. This is not a failure. This is a test. The people who support your growth and respect your new boundaries are the ones worth keeping. The ones who try to pull you back into old, disempowering patterns are revealing their own limitations, not yours. Machiavelli's ultimate lesson was never about political manipulation. It was about understanding human nature and working with it, not against it. When you embody these principles, attractive behavior becomes automatic. The man who has internalized these truths doesn't need dating advice because he is naturally attractive to the kind of women he wants to attract. Master this, and you will never need another dating video again. This was never really about dating. It was about becoming the kind of man who commands respect, who lives with purpose, and who is the sovereign ruler of his own inner kingdom. Do that, and the dating part will take care of itself.